Na 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 na. All I wanted was the love you gave. All I wanted for another day. All I ever knew, only you. Da 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 da. I'm very cold, cold today. I'm freezing, you could say. I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4 layers on. Come here. Da, 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 da. I thought it might be warmer than this, only slightly, but it's really cold. We had 2 days of sun. Da 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 da. I wish we were walking faster, then I would feel a little warmer, but they're too slow for me. Okay. Okay, this way. Come on, you two. There are squirrels in all the trees. You don't have to go to these. I love ferns. They're ancient plants. I hope they survive the human apocalypse. Yeah, I'll get flea treatment tomorrow, sweetie. I know, I'm 2 weeks late. Couldn't be helped. People so often accuse me of neglect, but they forget it can't be helped. I don't work in the summer. I'm a teacher. So I did actually buy enough flea treatment to last the summer, but I have to wait for my first paycheck. I should have basically bought 1 more packet. I did also buy enough dog food to last the summer. We're coming to the end of that, so my first few paychecks are going to be spent on the dogs before any get spent on me. So they call it neglect, but as any mother knows, you do without food so that your children can eat. And people say, well, why do you have animals if you can barely feed yourself? Well, the reason is there's actually no purpose to life unless you spend it in the service of another. I really don't think I'd be alive without family. They are my reason for living. Living for myself is insufficient. I moved to Birmingham and stayed in Birmingham so that my son could have family. I moved to Scotland so my dogs didn't suffer the overheating in Birmingham. It's too hot for huskies in Birmingham. Humans are fainting from the heat. Okay, let's go up here, you two. Come on, puppies. Why did I go to Spain? Because my ex-boyfriend wanted to go. I end up living in places that don't suit me. Birmingham was awful. It was cruel to animals because they're all Muslims. Pakistani Muslims, which aren't even proper Muslims. They're some sort of weird new Arabic Muslim that wears hijabs and thinks killing animals is part of the religion. Scotland is terrible because they're all yobs. I don't really deserve to be emotionally abused on a daily basis, but I am here. Spain was great. I'm Spanish. I came back to England because my boyfriend came back to England. I had to leave my cats, so I wasn't at all happy about that part of it. It's a lifelong regret. Because really, once you've got an animal, like now, if I had a boyfriend, I learnt from it. Now if I had a boyfriend, I would not leave my dogs for them. Sorry, I'd rather not have a boyfriend because the dogs come first. I haven't had a boyfriend in 20 years because my son didn't want to share attention with either another child or an adult. The worst thing about having a partner if you have a child is men are children and require lots of attention, which is basically taking it away from your child to put it on an adult who should be capable of taking care of themselves. But there you go, they're not really. And the reason for me I got divorced is realising this. My partner contributed nothing, just money. Money is not what a child needs. Do you think my dogs notice if I haven't eaten, or all they notice is so long as there's food in their bowls. And I play with them. Playing costs nothing. But men seem to think they can have a child and then dump the kid on a woman, as if they never... Come here for a treat! Come here for a treat, you two! Come on! Sorry, there's dogs there. I have to focus on the dogs for a bit. Come here, puppy! Come here! Where are your treats? Yes, I'm getting them. I'm getting them. I'm just distracting them from the little doggies. No doggies, no doggies, come here and have a treat. Come here, it will be neat once you have a treat. Come here, Mimia, this is for you. Come here, my dear, this is for you too. I've got to focus on the doggies a bit. There are too many dogs here, I've just realised, so we're going to have to move away from this place. Go somewhere to another space. I'll give you another treat once you are at my feet. Da, 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 da. Sorry for the shaky camera work, but I'm holding it in my left hand while rummaging through my bag, looking for a treaty. Even though the dogs are not bad. Come here, little shimmy. Come here, little poo. I love you, little baby. I've got a treaty just for you. Treaty and treaty and treaty, my dear. Yes, treaty, my treaty. Come shimmy, treat here. Come shimmy, treats. Treaty, come, treat. You want another one? Mimi's having your treat, Shim. Mimi ate your treat. Come here, Shim. Okay, the only thing we can do is walk away. What's been digging in the ground here? That's not rabbits, is it? No. Da, 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 da. Looks a bit rabbity, doesn't it? Da, da. Here you go, Shim. This is for you, for coming. No, Mimi, you had two. Shim hasn't had one yet. Da, 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 da. Love you, my dear. Da, 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 da. Dead angel there. 'Cause humans are awful, so it's only fair. Da 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 da. I've got to add a collar to Mimi's. No, 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 that's for when I see a dog, then you get a treat. They only get treats for dogs. Because it's not a rule I wish to enforce all the time. If it's a rule that I wish to be constantly enforced, I do not use treats. Because the problem with reward is if you reward a child for a behaviour, then they stop doing the behaviour in the absence of the reward. So it's a very short-term measure. Whereas if you praise a child for doing something, then eventually the reward becomes internalized. They get satisfaction from doing it. Like if you keep telling a child they've got neat handwriting or they're a good cleaner, they start feeling like that's who they are. I am proud of my neat handwriting. I am good at cleaning. And once that's happened, it's become part of who they are, they will do it in the absence of your praise or reward. So that's why I tell my dogs constantly they are good dogs. Let's go into these woods, far from those dogs. Come on, my Mimi, 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 Mimi. Da 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 da. Where's the squirrels in the trees? There are squirrels in the trees. squirrels in the trees, squirrels in the squirrel trees. Squirrels in the trees, there are squirrels in the trees. Squirrels in the trees. Mimi's barking please, 'cause there's squirrels in the trees. Squirrels in the trees, squirrels, squirrels, squirrels in the trees. Mimi's barking please, 'cause there's squirrels in the trees. Squirrels, squirrels, squirrels in the trees. Da 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 da. I've got to focus now. I've got a spider on my face. Got to focus on the dogs. Come on, baby, now. Come here for a treat. Come here. You can see there's a dog, and I'm hurting my doggies. Come on, Shimmy. Come here for a treaty, 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 treat, treaty, 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 treat. Goodies. Okay, let's carry on walking. It's amazing, I never actually walk anywhere. I just walk away from places. I walk away from humans. I walk away from... well, that's it. I don't actually aim to get places. I aim to get away from things. Avoidance. That is my main strategy in life. And they say it's a bad strategy, but it's a superb strategy. Because once you're alone, oof, the relief. The relief of being alone makes it all worth it. I can't believe that all my anxiety is human related. Take away humans and I'm not anxious. Isn't that amazing? I don't trust them. They turn on you. They're mean, they gang up, they bully, they kill. Very few humans are not murderers. Every car driver is a murderer. You'd think they'd stop driving once they'd killed something, but nope. They just keep on doing it because they have no conscience. The crows know. The crows watch everything. Are you feeling better, Shim? I told you there'd be grass to eat here. I'm so cold. It's because we're moving too slowly. I jog on the spot, but then this camera will really be shaky. I actually failed the MMPI for faking symptoms because I always tick things like my hands and feet are cold. They are. My hands and feet are always cold. You don't believe me? Ask boyfriends or just ask me to touch you. People scream when I touch them. They're like, ah, your hands are cold. All the symptoms they say are fake are actually symptoms I have. And I'm not going to lie just to pass the MMPI. I mean, even things like your voice sounding different. Doesn't your voice sound different at different times? Like now, my voice is more crackly than usual. I can hear it. Isn't that funny? I only talk while I'm walking. I do not talk this much. If you lived with me, you'd hear silence. Again, just ask my boyfriends. I sit in a different room to you in silence. That is what I do at home. Only my dogs are in the same room as me. And that's because they follow me around. I suppose humans could follow me around, but I'd probably just move to another room if they did that. There are definitely things digging here, but I don't believe it's rabbits. I think it's dogs, because I don't see any droppings. I wish it were rabbits. This would be a good place for rabbits to live. And goats. There's loads of shrubbery. Da, 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 da. I'm not enjoying this morning walk. It started too late and it's going too slow. But I'm letting my dogs do as they wish, because it can't always be me saying, let's rush, let's rush, let's run. We have to run to keep warm. My head tends to stay warm, but that is helped by the woolly hats. Gloves, sadly, hinder your ability to use your hands. It's not helped by the fact I've got summer clothes on from yesterday. I'm not eating blackberries now. They're a bit too ripe for me. They're too soft. I don't like fruits when it's soft. I would rather it was a little more underripe and sour than when it's soft it turns into wine. Blackberry one's alright. Tastes a bit like Ribena. But it's the mushiness, it's the texture. Bless him. Little Mimi always follows me. You're sweet, Mimi. Shim, how's your tummy? It's funny because Mimi ate the rubbish out of the bin yesterday. But she's fine. Shim, who only eats dog food, has the bad tummy. She might be after vitamins. Mimi ate lots of veg yesterday. Shim doesn't eat her veg. Their fur is glossy because I think I give them all the human food I can. Okay, come on then, you two. Let's go this way. So they get a more diverse diet than me. Oh, they've been eating an awful lot of peanuts recently. They love peanuts. I like peanuts. I'm going to eat peanuts when I get home. I fancy peanuts. Where are they going? I love you, doggies. You're good doggies. Darn it, my legs are bare and there are a lot of nettles here. I prefer to wear trousers because on our walks we walk through nettles a lot and brambles. I mastered winemaking, but sadly, wine's no good, or alcohol's no good for a depressed person. It just makes you cry more, so I gave it up. But I never mastered vinegar making, which is a much more useful skill. I think I need a vinegar SCOBY, mother of vinegar, because my wine never really vinegarized, even when left to the air. It just tasted a bit sour, but not very sour. Not sour enough to pickle. Where's Mimi going? Let's see. Oh no, you're coming this way? Okay, I'm following you too. It would help if you stayed together. If you stay together, then I can follow you. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, little Mimi. Little Mimi. At least Mimi went through a phase where she was so one-track minded that she'd forget to keep an eye on us. And then she'd get lost. And she did that Shim thing when Shim was the same age. When dogs get lost, they just pick a random direction and run as fast as they can in a random direction, ending up miles from where you are. But luckily that's only happened maybe 3 times, and now she's stopped. So she's growing up. Because you have to remember to keep an eye on your family. A lot of South African graves here. They fought in the war. This is a war graves cemetery. A lot of soldiers from around the world. See, I think humans plant bricks under the soil to make their paths, which is why nothing grows here. Huh. Shim? Oh, there's a squirrel there. That's quite a pretty structure, made by bricks. Don't you think? I'm going to take a photo. I think it's pretty what they've done. Not stable, but definitely pretty. Da, 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 da. I'm actually itching to go home and plan my lessons. Planning my lessons today because I blew my students' brains out by teaching something very hard on Monday and Tuesday, and I don't want to move on until he's mastered this. So all we're doing is practice of basically factorising quadratics all week and solving graphically. So that's two things. I really got into solving the problems. I just want to go home to answer these maths problems that I actually find quite easy, but then it's quite relaxing. I've realised the sort of job that ADHD likes when I'm not moving. When I'm moving, I can think, I can talk. But if I'm not moving, my brain freezes up and there's not much I can do. But what I can do is sort out seeds, take petals off flowers. You know, these boring jobs that come with gathering. Pull berries off branches. These jobs that are quite boring, but actually are the biggest part of foraging. Picking the plants, it takes no time at all compared to preparing the plants once they've been picked. And I can just sit at home 4 hours separating seeds into different seed types, for example. Or, well, I've given enough examples. So that's what I do in the evening, something like that. But obviously, answering maths problems, answering GCSE maths problems is about the same difficulty for me, as in easy. It's something I've been doing my whole life. So I actually find it quite relaxing to just sit at home answering maths problems. And that's why I got into it this morning. And I want to go back and answer some more. I don't have to. As I say, I could just answer them in class. But if I'm answering questions in class, then I'm not watching my student, am I? I'm not being attentive and responsive. So I do prefer to have the answers done before class. I wish the alarm would go. When the alarm goes, it's time to go home. Let's see if it's 9 o'clock. If it's 9 o'clock, we can go back onto the paths, because the cyclists will have got wherever they're going. Let me check.